Hi, my name is Carlo Sosa-Ortiz, and it is my honor to deliver this keynote address for you all virtually today. First of all, before I begin, I would like to extend my most heartfelt and sincere congratulations to all of you for completing this part of your academic journey. It might seem as just another thing to check off of the box or something that was expected of you to do, but know that your families are extremely proud of you and share in this accomplishment with you. So congratulations to all of you. It's not hard to go through public education without hearing from your teachers or counselor about the importance of education. We might hear this all the time, but what is so important about education? Depending on who you ask, you might get very different answers. Some people will say that education in this day and age is crucial for success. Without a high school or college education, opportunities are fewer and doors immediately begin to close. Education's sole purpose is then to join the workforce. From this perspective, education is a safety net. It catches you and provides for you in ways that other resources cannot. Others might say that education is always worth the buck. It's worth hours and hours of work to obtain that degree in high school or college so that you can be a welder, policewoman, doctor, teacher, or entrepreneur who make money. They say go to school and major in something profitable, major in business or medicine or law. They might advise you against getting degrees in philosophy or art or music because how do those pay the bills? They're not real jobs. From this perspective, education is only as valuable as the money you earn. Now, there is truth in these ideas. I don't mean to disparage them too much. Yes, our job as a society is to prepare you to be successful, to be good people who contribute and can take care of themselves. But to say that this is all education is to misunderstand why education is so important. We might stop and think to ourselves, well, how is a squared plus b squared so powerful? What is so important about learning things like that? Education is not about memorizing formulas or facts or learn dates or preparing for things like STAR. That completely misses the point of the power of education. Education is more concerned about teaching us how to learn and how to think freely. It's something that helps us grow as individuals and inspires us to be more empathetic, understanding, and tolerant. A mind that has been educated opens doors not because you have a degree or a title in front of your name, but because you have been taught to think critically for yourself. You can think, analyze, feel, and process new information about the world around you. You can meet new people who think differently than you, who believe in different things, and be calm when what you thought you knew is now questioned with new facts and ideas. Education replaces our narrow minds with wide open ones and teaches us to look at the world from new perspectives. A true education is not something that can be measured by standardized tests or grades every 6 weeks. Now, those are things that our teachers have to do, but that's not why they're here. In the heart of each one of your teachers is the strong desire to see you become self-confident men and women who are prepared to make a difference in whatever profession or vocation you choose to do. Unfortunately, not everyone in this world sees education that way. Instead, certain groups of people and schools are far more concerned with pumping out students who know how to take tests well than who can think critically for themselves. Some schools and universities are more concerned about what will make them the most money than ensuring that their students are being challenged with what they're learning. I have no doubt that that age-old thought has crossed your mind the way it's crossed a lot of students before you. How is it that algebra or music or science is ever going to prepare me for the future or for the real world? I get it, I've been there too. Memorizing Avogadro's number or when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue might not teach us how to be good neighbors or better parents. But education teaches us how to think critically about life's tough problems. We can learn how to be creative, to think outside the box, to imagine different outcomes and scenarios. From this perspective, education is not concerned with what your degree's earning potential might be, or what you're going to do with your high school or college diploma. The true purpose of education doesn't even mean that it requires spending more money, taking harder tests, or going to more elite schools or universities. Rather, education is about empowering individuals to be a more understanding, compassionate, and critically thinking human being. As a graduate student, I have the opportunity and privilege of teaching undergraduate religion students ancient Hebrew. Now, I understand that this might not sound as exciting as it does to me, but I've found that it's not very difficult to make ancient Hebrew sound appealing, or at least just a little bit interesting to students. Now, don't get me wrong, I notice students looking at their phones when we're learning grammar, or maybe snoozing a little bit when we're memorizing vocabulary and syntax. But that's kind of boring for me too, if I'm being honest with you. But there is nothing like seeing the aha moments in their faces when something finally clicks for the very first time. It's like seeing wheels turning in their minds that haven't really made a connection before. For each student, this works and happens at different times and in different ways. So I can only speak for myself on a personal level of what this looks like. I remember teaching one semester and reviewing vocabulary with our students when it finally hit me that the Hebrew word for knowledge, yada, sounds incredibly similar to the Hebrew word for hand, yad. Now, I think these ancient people were onto something. Maybe knowledge and wisdom don't mean acquiring all these new bits of information and then storing them away in our brains. Because when we do that with education, it can become pretty boring really quickly. Who cares about Pythagoras' theorem or derivatives or vocabulary when it's tucked safely away in our minds just to be forgotten next week, or when we learn some new fact of information? But what I learned that day is that knowledge should always lead to doing. And if what we've learned doesn't lead us into action, then maybe we never understood at all. This is the last thing that we learn from education. Education is never only just for you. It's to be shared with the people around you. The confidence it brings you is always for the betterment of other people. The privileges it grants you is to lift others up. You and I are fortunate to have received an education through Wesco ISD. To learn to read and write, to be able to communicate our thoughts and ideas through pen and paper. But not everyone has this privilege. I'll be graduating with my master's degree next week, around the same time that a lot of you might be graduating also. And like a lot of you, it's really hard for me to believe that my education is quickly coming to an end as soon as it began. So I started thinking about these past 18 years of schooling that I've had, of all the teachers in these 18 years who have formed me into the person I am today, who gave me the confidence to read, and right, who nurtured curiosity and imagination, who inspired me to ask questions and to search for answers. More importantly, I think of the sacrifices made by my mom. As a single mother, she decided to go to school and earn a degree for her kids, and so that she could inspire young children through the public education system. I think of my grandparents, who never went beyond a 3rd grade reading level, who worked out in the field hard every day to provide and to love my mom and her siblings. Through their striving, I learned about the meaning of hard work and loyalty to someone's family. And I learned that there is real opportunities when we try hard, and we can see through that what love really looks like. Where we are today is in part of the hard work that we put in. And where you are today and your accomplishments is in large part due to the work that you've put in. So congratulations to you. But it's important to realize that it's not just us responsible for our success. It's crucial to remember that it takes a village to raise us up. This is what your parents sacrificed for, what your teachers strived for. Education reminds us of what it means to be a good person, to put our knowledge into action, to raise up a community of doers who use their talents and resources always for the betterment of their community. It shows us a future of who we can be if we work hard. It opens our eyes to bigger and brighter solutions for this world in ways that unimaginative minds could never have dreamed. So be proud of where you are today, of the people who have guided and mentored you, and of your families who have loved you into being. Because it is now your responsibility to share what you know and to be a light for those who need to be uplifted, to feel love, and to be as proud as you are today. Thank you.